What's going on, guys? It's your boy Austin Shope here. Today's video, we're going to be making our predictions for UFC 310, Pantoja versus Osakara. Now, originally, it was supposed to be Belal Muhammad versus Shavkats Rakhmonov, but Belal Muhammad had a foot injury and had to pull out. And Garry was fighting Buckley next weekend, and so he stepped up and was like, okay, listen, I'll fight Shavkats for maybe like an interim title. And they moved the main event from Pantoja and Osakara. I think they were supposed to fight 311 or 312. I think maybe it was 311, but now they're the main event for 310. And the co-main is Shavkats and Garry, which I'm pretty sure is a 5-round fight as well. But yeah, no, we're going to be making our predictions for this whole fight card. We're going to do the prelims and main card. And I'll do an overview at the end. But how crazy is this? At first, it was such a... I thought this card was gonna be ruined, you know. As soon as Belal Muhammad announced that he had to pull out, I was like, okay, great. This is gonna be another one of those cards where, you know, it was pretty stacked and the hype was pretty real, and now, you know, it's just all gonna turn to crap. So, but then Pantoja Osakara stepped up and they're like, all right, cool, we'll make this the main event, whatever. And then Garry was like, all right, listen, I need to fight this dude because both of our records are undefeated, and you don't really see a fight like this far in both these guys' career. Usually when two undefeated guys fight each other, it's usually earlier in their career. That's why there's a lot of hype behind this fight. And I don't know. Some people, I think a lot of people are getting mixed opinions on this fight. So it is what it is. We'll find out. But we're gonna get into these predictions real quick. For the first fight on the prelim card, we got Randy Brown versus Bryan Battle. All right. Now, I guess technically for Bryan Battle, this would be a pretty big step up in competition. Randy Brown is 19-5, and he's on I think 3 or 4 fight winning streak. But listen, dude, if you guys don't know who Bryan Battle is, his hype train is up a lot mostly because his mouth. He has a lot of trash talk, and he can back it up too. I think he has like 1 loss in the UFC and 1 no contest. But if you guys haven't seen his last performance in France, he just completely shat on the dude. And his boxing, his stand-up is very, very crisp. And I don't think he's gonna have a lot of trouble with Randy Brown. Even though he's on like I said, a big winning streak right now, I don't think he's gonna beat Bryan. I think it's gonna be super easy for him, and honestly, I think he might get a TKO or a KO in this fight. I think it's and if honestly, I have Bryan Battle by finish. I feel like it might be early in the 3rd round, but like I said, I don't think this is gonna be a huge. I don't think it's going to be a test for Bryan Battle. I honestly think, you know, yeah, this is the best guy he's fought so far, but I still think he's a lot better skill-wise than Randy Brown, and I think he can finish him, which I think he will. But that's my prediction for that fight. For the next fight on the prelim card, we got Vicente Luque versus Themba Gorimbo. Now, Vicente Luque was originally supposed to fight Nick Diaz, and this was probably the 2nd or 3rd time it's been booked or rescheduled or whatever. But Nick Diaz had to step out once again, and I just don't think he's coming back. But that's besides the point, because Themba Gorimbo stepped up, and this would be a perfect first fight to go into the rankings, because even though Vicente Luque had a really bad performance against Buckley, he's no slouch. I mean, look what Buckley's done so far in the welterweight division. He's like, what, 5-6-0 in the welterweight division. Now he's fighting Colby Covington, I think, next weekend or the weekend after. So, I mean, it's not a bad loss, but any loss would be considered bad. Anyways, to cut to the chase, dude, Themba Gorimbo, there's a lot of hype behind him. He's not the first African fighter in the UFC, but I think he's the only African fighter from Zimbabwe who's fighting in the UFC. I could be wrong, but he's really good. He's super good, and he has good grappling. His cardio is relentless, and he's just an overall like a good MMA fighter. He has a lot of heart, you know. He really wants that gold around his waist. I just don't think he's gonna get past Vicente Luque. Y'all might disagree, but I don't think he's gonna get past him. He from what I've seen out of him, I just don't really see like that championship caliber fighter, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't really think he has what it takes to actually beat a veteran like Vicente Luque. Vicente Luque has, you know, really big names under his resume. I mean, he's beat Tyron Woodley. He's had really good fights in the past. He's just Vicente Luque is no slouch, dude. I mean, he might have had like an iffy career like recently, like he could like, you know, not really being consistent, but I mean, look at the dudes he's fought. It's just I just don't think Themba Gorimbo is one of those guys that's really gonna like put it on Vicente Luque. I feel like the only way Themba would win is a close decision fight, but I just don't think that's gonna happen. So let's say I don't think Vicente Luque is gonna finish him. I'm not saying that. I just think he'll probably put on a performance against him. Not like a great performance, but just a unanimous decision performance. I think maybe Themba would probably win maybe like one round, if that. So, I'm not saying it's going to be a bad fight. I just don't think he's going to win. So, for the next fight on the list, we got Anthony Smith versus Dominic Reyes. Now, if you guys don't watch my YouTube channel, or if you guys are just now watching my YouTube channel, I make videos about, you know, fights that I wish could happen, or dream fights that need to happen, or fights that Dana White needs to book, or whatever. Well, in one of the videos, I said, okay, book Anthony Smith versus Dominic Reyes. After Dominic Reyes won I think by TKO against Dustin Jacoby, I was super happy, dude. I was so happy for Dominic Reyes because, you know, he has been on a losing streak for a while. I mean, yeah, he's been fighting, like, top guys, you know, like Yuri Prohaska, freaking Jan Blachowicz, all these big guys, Ryan Spann, all these guys that are super good, and then he goes out and puts on a performance against Dustin Jacoby and gets him out of there in the first round. I think the perfect fight for him to bounce back in the rankings, or to bounce back in maybe like towards the top 10 or top 5 or whatever, would be Anthony Smith. I said that a while back. I was like, yo, Dana, you got to book this fight. And he listened. Maybe he watches my YouTube channel. I don't know. But like I said, I think my predictions for this fight, I got Dominic Reyes. I got Dominic Reyes by unanimous decision. I don't think he's going to finish Anthony Smith, because Anthony Smith has a good chin on him, even though Khalil Roundtree just killed him or whatever. But that's Khalil Roundtree, you know. He had a good performance against Alex Pereira. I think the only way Anthony Smith would beat Dominic Reyes is by by submitting him. You know what I'm saying? His jiu-jitsu. I don't think he's a better stand-up fighter than Dominic Reyes. I think Dominic Reyes is a more like of a pressure fighter. So I think Dominic Reyes is gonna win. I think he's gonna win by unanimous decision. Actually, no, wait, no, I changed my mind. I think he's gonna win by stoppage. I take it back. You know, Dominic Reyes was one of those guys that was like probably one of the best guys in that division for a while, and then you know he after losing to John Jones or whatever, probably took down a lot of his confidence, you know what I'm saying? And you know, he was really good all the way up until then, even during that fight, and then it's almost like after that fight he went downhill. But I think he picked up a lot of that confidence back whenever he beat Dustin Jacoby. But like I said, my predictions for this fight is Dominic Reyes by stoppage. I don't think it's going to be that hard for him. I think Anthony Smith is actually on his downfall right now. I think he's, you know, getting up there in age, and just as a fighter, I think there's just better guys in the division now. So, I think this is Dominic Reyes' comeback comeback season. He's still like 34. I think he's like 33, 34 years old. So he still has time, and I think his time starts now. So let me know what you guys think about that. For the next fight, we're kicking off the main card with Nate the Train versus Choi Dooho. I don't want to... I probably butchered that, but whatever. Both of these guys are coming off of a knockout, their last performance. Nate the Train in the first round, Choi in the second round. Nate the Train has a pretty big hype under him, you know. I think that's why he's on the main card. He fought Dan Ige and lost, but he's mostly known for his mouth. I'm not saying he's not a good fighter. He has a lot of trash talking and a lot of name calling. I don't know. He's there for the money, I feel like, but he's a good fighter, you know. I don't think he's gonna lose this fight. I honestly think he's probably gonna get him out of there pretty quick. I don't know too much about the other guy, the Choi Dooho or whatever his name is. But I do think Nate is just a lot better. He's 36 years old, so I don't know how much longer he has in the UFC. He kind of started his UFC career like late, but I don't think he's gonna have a lot of trouble with this fight. I think they honestly just put him on the main card because they knew he was gonna probably knock this guy out in the first or second round. So my predictions for this fight is knockout. Let's say early second round knockout. That's my predictions for this fight. I think Nate's gonna win. And hopefully he can, you know, get a ranked opponent soon. I know he lost to Dan Ige, but I don't know. I think he can still get in the rankings if he wanted to. So that's my predictions for this fight. For the next fight on the main card, we got Bryce Mitchell versus Kron Gracie. Okay. I don't know why this fight is happening. Kron Gracie sucks, okay? He's only good for grappling. He's not a good stand-up guy at all, and he's not UFC material. I don't know why he's fighting. I don't know why they booked this fight. He hasn't fought in years. His last fight, I think he lost. So, I don't know. I don't know why this fight's happening. They probably just felt bad for Bryce Mitchell after he got freaking killed by Josh Emmett. And they were like, listen, we need to give you some, like, scrub. So we're just going to re-sign this guy real quick and then, you know, throw you him and then put you guys on a main card, whatever. Listen, dude, Bryce Mitchell is going to kill Kron Gracie. He is going to murder him, okay? Listen, I'll watch this fight, but I'm not really excited for it. I don't know. I think Bryce Mitchell's probably going to knock him out, probably second round. Or, I don't think he's going to submit him. I don't think he's going to submit someone who's in the Gracie family. I don't think that's going to happen. Maybe if he does take it down to the ground, maybe Kron will come out and get a submission. But I think Bryce Mitchell is going to be smart enough not to, you know, take it to the ground. Unless he wants to test his grappling against one of the Gracies. I don't know much about Kron Gracie. I just know he's not good. So I got Bryce Mitchell by third round knockout. Let's say Kron has a really good chin and can just take hits until he can't take hits anymore. So I got Bryce Mitchell by third round KO or TKO. Okay, for the next fight, we got Cyril Gane versus Alexander Volkov. Both these guys are coming off a win. Cyril Gane is coming off beating Sergey Spivak, and Volkov is coming by beating Sergey Pavlovich. Listen, the only difference is that Cyril Gane got killed by John Jones, and then he smoked Spivak. Okay, whatever. Volkov is on like a 5-fight winning streak. He finished I think 3 of those fights. He got like a choke and then knocked out 2 of those guys and then put on his last performance, he put on a freaking performance against Pavlovich. He completely just outstruck him, was just putting it on him the whole time. So Volkov, in my opinion, is a lot better than the last time that both these guys fought each other. Okay? We get it, Cyril Gane got lost to John Jones. and whatever, and he started training grappling and whatnot. I think Volkov's going to get the best of him this time. I think it's going to be by decision. So here's what I think is going to happen. I think it's going to be a really close fight, but I feel like Volkov's going to get better in the exchanges. I think he's going to have better exchanges with Ciryl Gane, and I think he's going to get the harder hits. I don't think Ciryl Gane's going to win this fight. I think Volkov's a lot better, like I said, and let's say Volkov gets him by split decision. I think it's going to be a close fight, but I think Volkov's going to win this fight, and I think he'll be in talks for a title shot in the next couple years or whatever, or the next couple fights. I know Tom Aspinall probably is going to get that shot next, but after that, I don't see why Volkov wouldn't get it if he beats Ciryl Gane. So that's my predictions for this fight. I got Volkov by split decision. Let me know what you all think. Okay, for the co-main event, we got Shavkat Rakhmonov versus Ian Garry. Now, this fight's going to be intense, guys. Okay, this fight gets me I'm getting wired up talking about it because it's such a hyped matchup, okay? We got Shavkat Rakhmonov, 18 wins, 18 finishes. We have Ian Garry, 15-0, 100% win rate. He hasn't lost a fight. So, what's cool about this matchup is, right, we got, Shavkat, he's been cracked before. Jeff Neal really cracked him. Wonder Boy, struck him a little bit. He's been hit before, okay? He's been hit before, but he's always found a way to win. Ian Garry is a different type of dude. I think Ian Garry's stand-up is really good, and I think ever since he's moved to Brazil and training with those guys down there like Charles Oliveira and stuff like that, his grappling's gotten probably to the point to where it's almost high level. This fight is gonna be, I have a hard time making a prediction for this fight. It's like one of those fights where it's you don't want to say the wrong thing and mess up and end up being wrong on your predictions. But dude, I don't know, dude. We've seen Shavkat been really hurt before, you know what I'm saying? He's been cracked. His chin has been touched, and so many times by so many people, but he always comes out with the win. He's just really skilled, and I think he always has a really good game plan. But dude, Ian Garry's a different animal, dude. He was a Cage Warriors champion, and like I said, his stand-up's always been good, but I just think he's evolved even more. I think he really, really wants to win this fight, and he really just, both these guys want to win this fight, but I just think Ian Garry's super, super hungry for it, dude. He really wants that gold, man. And I think he was he's probably coming in this fight where he's dude, I can't mess this opportunity up, So for my predictions for this fight, you guys are gonna freaking disagree with me on this so hard. I think Ian Garry's gonna knock out Shavkat Rakhmonov. Okay, I think he's gonna TKO him or knock him out, whether it's by head kick or just by punching him. I think he's gonna finish him in the 4th round. Okay, I think it's gonna go a little bit of the distance, but I don't think it's not gonna go the distance. Okay, it's not gonna go full distance. I think it's gonna happen late in the fight, but I think Ian Garry's gonna come out with the win. He's gonna be the first guy to knock out Shavkat Rakhmonov. He's gonna be the first guy. Whenever he does, y'all come back to this video and you're gonna be like, he was right. Austin Shobe was right. So that's my predictions for this fight, and let me know in the comments what y'all think. Okay, for the main event, we got Alexandre Pantoja versus Kaya Sakara. Now, like I said, if you guys don't know who Kaya Sakara is, he was the former Rising champion, and his striking is just super elite. You know what I'm saying? He has really good striking, and I think he fought in bantamweight in that promotion, but he's fighting in flyweight this promotion. Maybe bantamweight was 125 where he was at, but I don't know. Whatever. This fight, I don't know much about him, to really say, oh, like, I have a lot of confidence in him winning. But I do think that this is probably the best guy that Pantoja is going to fight throughout his whole career. When it comes to his striking, it's really elite, and his takedown defense seems pretty promising. Like I said, if you guys haven't seen that video with him and Merab training, Merab couldn't take this guy down. So, I don't want to... I'm just going to make it safe here. My predictions for this fight, I think Pantoja's going to win. I think he's going to get him by unanimous decision. I don't think he'll finish him, but I think he'll put on a performance against Kaya Sakara. Like I said, maybe this will be the fight to put Kaya Sakara on the radar. You know, maybe for him to, like, you know, if he wants to bump up to bantamweight after this fight, he can. Maybe he'll be like one of the top bantamweight guys or whatever. But like I said, I don't think he's going to beat Pantoja. I think Pantoja's actually going to get him by unanimous decision. Now, if he gets him on the ground, that's another story. Pantoja might submit him. But I think my predictions for this fight is, I think Pantoja by submission. I think he's going to submit Kaya Sakara if he gets him down to the ground. If he doesn't, like I said, unanimous decision. But I'm going submission with this one. Let me know what you guys think about this whole predictions. Let me know if you think I was accurate. You guys might disagree with me on some fights, but that's okay, because whenever these guys win, you're going to be like, all right, listen, you were right, whatever. So let me know what you guys think about these predictions, and stay tuned for the next video. Put on the post notifications, so whenever I post, you guys can see whenever that happens. And like and subscribe. Stay tuned. Peace.